Hi everyone, so good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Laura Papetti, and we begin new this afternoon. Today's court hearing for the man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students just wrapped up about an hour ago. The judge in the case ruled that both hearings scheduled in the coming weeks will indeed be closed to the public. Among the things those hearings will focus on is the defense's request for more evidence from the prosecutors. During the hearing, Koberger's defense pushed for an open hearing while the defense wanted it closed. Just a few hours ago, Washington State Patrol notified the families impacted by a deadly 2-car crash this morning. All the westbound lanes were closed for several hours while officials investigated that crash. Those roads are now reopened. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones, he is bringing us the very latest from the scene.
Yeah, so what we know is that around 2:30 a.m. earlier in the morning, WSP received a 911 call stating that someone was driving eastbound in the westbound lanes. They responded to that, and just a few moments later, they got another 911 call saying that car had crashed into another driver who was driving in the correct direction in the westbound lanes. We got some video for you to look at that we shot a little bit earlier in the morning, and then you can see all of the detours that were in place. Those were in place for several hours, and then also throughout the morning we were in contact with Washington State Patrol about what exactly took place, the investigation process, and this is what they had to say.
We got a call of a wrong way vehicle. We don't actually know where they entered the freeway. We're thinking in the downtown area, because a short time later we had the report that it was involved in a head-on collision. Unfortunately, that driver that was driving the wrong way, a female driver, was killed in the collision, and the victim driver driving westbound in the westbound lanes was also killed in the collision. So pretty tragic morning. It's backed up traffic as well and impacting a lot of people, and our hearts go out to the families that have lost somebody today.
Okay, and again, we did learn that it was a 24-year-old woman who was driving eastbound in the westbound lane before crashing into a 59-year-old man who was driving in the correct direction. WSP told us they're working to notify next of kin, so once we get any other information, we'll be sure to keep you informed as well. But for now, reporting here off of I-90, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Today on Upriver Drive, dive crews rescued the driver of a car that crashed into the Spokane River, and that person is now being treated for life-threatening injuries. All happened near East Upriver Drive and North Cuba Street, which is about a mile east of Spokane Community College. Upriver is open from Green Street going east. Certainly this is a developing story. We'll be sure to bring you the very latest throughout the afternoon on KREM.com and of course on KREM 2 News first at 4 o'clock. It is 4 minutes past noon right now, and boy, is it absolutely beautiful. You look like the sunshine is just glowing off you, Thomas.
Well, that's because the light is just behind me right here. Yeah, the big ball in the sky just making things feel so warm, so pleasant out here. As a bonus, we actually have a stable atmosphere as well. So any of the cumulus clouds that we're seeing are more fair weather cumulus as opposed to the would-be thunderstorms or thunder showers or enhanced showers, the ones that have been producing the rain and the grapple and the hail recently. Not the case here today. A very enjoyable noon hour at 57 degrees, even up to 62 already in Omak. As we look at Doppler radar, there's your stable layer of air and all that sunshine right over the inland northwest. I will say the only exception is draped right over Boundary County in North Idaho. So a few of these pop-up showers will form right along this boundary. So it may get into the northernmost reaches of Washington. We're talking Medellin Falls, Ione, Curlew. You would still have a chance for rain today, but once you get towards Spokane and Kootenai County, that chance is near 0%. Looking nice today and for tomorrow. However, Bloomsday is going to be cold and it is going to be raining. We'll show you the precise details in terms of the storm system that hits the northwest coming up.
And taking a look at Northwest news, Idaho has now joined several other states in filing a lawsuit against the federal government over a new Title IX rule. The rule, which is set to go into effect in August, prohibits discrimination based on gender identity. Idaho's Attorney General arguing in a federal filing that the rule is unlawful and goes far beyond the Department of Education's authority. The state argues that the new rule redefines the term sex in a way that contradicts Title IX and the intent of Congress.
This is once again an example of the Biden administration being frustrated because they cannot pass a legislation, they cannot pass a law that changes the law in a way that they find favorable, and they go through regulation and they change years and years and upend years and years of law by just passing a simple rule, and that's not the way our government was created.
Now, this new rule could impact several Idaho laws. The first is the so-called bathroom law, which requires public schools to only allow students to use the bathroom that corresponds to the gender that they were assigned at birth. The other bans teachers from using names or pronouns for students other than the ones, again, they were assigned at birth, unless they have permission from the student's parents.